has enough pressure that it kind of walls off the pathogen so it doesn't invade quite so quickly. Not always, many pathogens are clever and can get around it, but it is a good defense, a good first defense. Now, let's look very briefly at these immune cell communities. You'll learn a lot more about these in microbiology. The rate of inflammation keeps getting higher and higher and higher because of things like mast cells. Mast cells, you know about if you have allergies. Mast cells release substances like histamine, and mast cells just cause more inflammation, more redness, heat, pain, and swelling to just get that site more filled with blood and more flooded with immune-killing substances, and it's more swollen and actually more painful because a lot of the substances released by mast cells cause nerves to fire and make you feel awful pain. Also flooded to the site in the inflammatory response are all sorts of white blood cells that are very specific in the immune response. Things like lymphocytes or plasma cells make antibodies that can kill the substance very, very nicely. Also flooding to the site are phagocytes, macrophages. Macrophages come in and they literally eat phagocytes, P-H-A-G-O-C-Y-T-E. They literally eat the debris up. So all that redness, heat, and pain and swelling actually represents the flooding in of soldiers to fight this foreign agent and destroy it. Now here's a point I'd like you to absorb. When you have this battle going on, and you still have inflammation, there's no effective repair possible. Now the area might be trying to repair, but it's not going to be able to effectively repair until the inflammation is gone. So if you had a splinter in your skin, and it was in your skin for weeks, it would get redder and hotter and more painful and more swollen. There'd be more pus from all these dead immune cells and dead cellular debris, but there would not be any healing possible until you took that splinter out, got rid of all that crap in there and cleaned it up, and then it would begin to properly repair. Now, so disordered repair during inflammation. Now, if the inflammation is chronic, this is the problem. Let's talk about chronic inflammation. Let's say that you have a foreign agent there for weeks or months. Something like cholesterol embedded in the walls of your artery. Cholesterol is a foreign body. When it embeds in the walls of your artery, you have redness, heat, pain, and swelling that goes on for years and years and years. You get disorganized repair with lots of scar tissue and lots of calcium deposits. When an inflamed tissue that's trying to repair and can't repair in an organized way, struggles with this battle for months and years, you start to get these massive scars of dysfunctional tissue, rigid, hard collagen fibers, and lots of calcium deposits that make the area stiff. Yeah.
So does that go hand in hand with RA? Like if you're chronically inflamed?
With rheumatoid arthritis, if you have chronic inflammation, you can get a lot of excess connective tissue being laid down, a lot of scarring tissue. Now, in normal wound injury, you're supposed to form a tiny little bit of healing scar that might disappear with time.
Mm-hmm.
But if you have a big injury or a chronic injury, you can have a massive scar. So people with immune system disorders like RA, I should mention this now, autoimmune disease. Although we'll talk about it later because we're going to address the joints, which are very vulnerable to autoimmune damage. Autoimmune diseases are a group of diseases where your immune system accidentally attacks your own connective tissue. And this can be a real problem because you're always going to have connective tissue. And as long as you have connective tissue, that connective tissue may be attacked. Redness, heat, pain, swelling, scar, disordered scar, and calcium deposits. So Darlene, right? So in a disease like RA, rheumatoid arthritis, where the immune system attacks the connective tissue, you can expect a lot of damage to the joints, to the ligaments, to the tendons, and that sort of thing. But there's connective tissue everywhere, right? So any place that there's connective tissue, a person with autoimmune disease can experience this kind of phenomenon. So I don't know what I told you about this.
Show
Did I,
us that slide.
did I tell you what this person had?
All right.
This is rheumatoid arthritis. Unmanaged rheumatoid arthritis. So I know you don't know what it is yet because we haven't looked at hearts yet. If you take the top off the heart, there are going to be a lot of passageways, and they all have little doors or valves that open and close to let blood move in and out. The valves, now you've all seen the ear of a baby mouse, right? It's really soft, transparent, right? Soft as a feather. A beautiful, healthy valve, you can see through it. It's soft, it's delicate, it's translucent, okay? But when a valve becomes scarred because of chronic inflammation, so this is not the valve, these are the blood vessels. This is one big blood vessel, here's another, but here are the three valves here. And look how thick and white and fibrous they are from chronic inflammation from an autoimmune disease. But the same thing could happen if you had a bacterial infection, a bacterial endocarditis, where for a period of time, bacteria lodged on your heart valves and they triggered a chronic inflammation, and as a result, your heart valves became scarred. So when we think about things like coronary artery disease, heart disease, okay, and how cholesterol makes your artery walls thick and hard, and then your blood pressure goes up, and then the arteries get clogged, and you have a stroke, or they rupture open. What we're really seeing is the cholesterol, spare cholesterol that your body doesn't need, gets stored, and it gets stuffed into the walls of the arteries, where it triggers a chronic inflammatory process. So from the time you're about 17 till whatever, you've got arteries that are being filled with cholesterol and getting more and more swollen, inflamed, filled with scar tissue and calcium deposit. So the walls of the arteries become very thick and very stiff and very crunchy. They attract blood clots or they split open. So this is a disease, heart disease. It's really a process of bad behaving immune system, an immune system that has gone out of control and reacting too long to a foreign body that you never are able to get rid of, unless you lower your cholesterol levels. All right, so now I can talk to you about this picture. There are a whole category of bacteria that you will learn about if you go into work clinically that kill you not because they produce a poison, okay? They kill you because they trick your immune system into running amok and triggering terrible inflammation. And when the bacteria are local, God forbid they get into your general circulation, they'll kill you like that. But when they're still local and resident in the tissue, they trigger so much redness, heat, pain, and swelling that it literally cuts off the blood supply to the tissue. And then the tissue dies and the bacteria eat it all up and go, I love this. And then they grow out, and then they cause inflammation